Hello and welcome to AITV News. In this segment, we're breaking down the latest major announcement on prescription drug prices from the Trump administration. On Friday, October 10, 2025, President Donald J. Trump announced a significant agreement with the British-based pharmaceutical giant AstraZeneca. This follows a similar deal struck with Pfizer just a week and a half earlier. The administration is promoting these agreements as a historic win for American patients, using a strategy called Most Favored Nation (MFN) pricing. So what exactly is Most Favored Nation pricing? The concept is straightforward. The United States should pay no more for a prescription drug than the lowest price paid by other comparable developed nations. For years, Americans have paid significantly more for the same medications than people in other wealthy countries, often nearly 3 times more. This initiative aims to close that gap. Let's look at the specifics of the new AstraZeneca deal. First, the company has agreed to offer its drugs to all state Medicaid programs at these lower, most favored nation prices. Medicaid is the government health program for low-income Americans, covering over 70 million people. The White House projects this will result in substantial savings. Second, the agreement guarantees that any new, innovative medicines AstraZeneca brings to the United States market will also be sold at this international benchmark price. A major part of this plan is a new government website called TrumpRx.gov, which is expected to launch in early 2026. AstraZeneca will list its primary care medications on this site. It's important to understand that TrumpRx won't sell drugs directly. Instead, it will act as a portal, referring users to platforms where they can buy medications directly from the company at a reduced cash price, completely outside of their insurance plan. AstraZeneca has pledged discounts of up to 80% for eligible patients on some drugs for chronic diseases purchased this way. What does AstraZeneca get in return for these concessions? A very valuable incentive: a 3-year exemption from the threat of steep United States tariffs on imported pharmaceuticals. The administration had threatened tariffs of up to 100% on drug makers to pressure them into these kinds of agreements.
As part of the deal, AstraZeneca also committed to investing $50 billion in United States-based manufacturing and research and development, including a new $4.5 billion facility in Virginia. This deal with AstraZeneca didn't happen in a vacuum. It's modeled on a pact made with Pfizer on September 30th. Pfizer also agreed to most favored nation pricing for Medicaid and new drugs, participation in the TrumpRx website, and a $70 billion investment in United States operations. In exchange, Pfizer also received a 3-year exemption from the threatened tariffs. So the key question is, who will actually see savings from these deals? While the announcements sound transformative, many experts are skeptical about their broad impact. Analysts point out that the deals are primarily focused on 2 groups: state Medicaid programs and uninsured individuals who are willing and able to pay cash for their medicines through the new TrumpRx website. For the vast majority of Americans who have private health insurance through an employer or are covered by Medicare, these deals are not expected to directly lower their out-of-pocket costs at the pharmacy counter. Furthermore, experts note that Medicaid already receives significant drug discounts under a federal best price law. This law guarantees Medicaid the lowest price offered to any commercial payer in the United States. Because of this, the additional savings from the new Most Favored Nation pricing might be limited. This has led some analysts to view the deals as a mutually beneficial arrangement. The president can claim a significant political victory on his promise to lower drug prices. Meanwhile, the pharmaceutical companies avoid potentially crippling tariffs by making price concessions in a smaller part of their market. As one expert from Boston University noted, the deal is good for the companies, but has very uncertain, if any, benefit for Americans struggling with the affordability of prescription drugs. Another analyst described the initial Pfizer deal as more optics than bite, pointing out that the company didn't change any of its financial guidance after the announcement. There is also a potential international consequence. Some economists warn that to level the playing field, drug companies might respond not just by lowering U.S. prices, but by raising their prices in other countries. This could shift the cost burden rather than eliminating it.
To sum it all up, the Trump administration has successfully used the threat of tariffs to secure agreements with Pfizer and AstraZeneca. These deals promise to lower drug prices for state Medicaid programs and for uninsured patients paying with cash. However, for most Americans with insurance, these agreements are unlikely to change what they pay for their prescriptions. In exchange for targeted price cuts, the drug companies have secured a 3-year shield from tariffs and are boosting their investments in the United States.